Hey, what's up guys, Ali from Solid Trades. So in this video I'm going to talk about how I went from this to this in 4 months, completely natural. Okay, um, here's another before after picture. This was before and after. Now notice that you might be wondering, hey, the other picture I was looking way more jacked. So in this picture I'm looking way more jacked, and in this picture I'm looking a little skinnier. And actually the funny thing is these both pictures were taken the exact same day. But the first about this picture was actually taking this picture was actually taken in the morning, and this was taken after the workout. So I'm just more pumped, and here just right in the morning, first thing I woke up. So it's crazy how, like, after you work out you get even more pumped, and we know all about the pump, right? But I have one problem now. Anybody who sees me after like few months, who hasn't seen me for a while, they always ask me the same thing. What happened? Why do you look so good all of a sudden? Well, so in this video I'm going to talk about exactly what I did, and the truth is that I actually did hire a coach, a fitness coach, who helped me throughout my training and my diet and everything. And the whole process I learned. I worked extremely hard as well, but the whole process I learned, and now I'm going to actually share it. So buckle tight. Everything and anything you want to know to be shredded is going to be in this video. So I'm going to make a very crash course of the video so you can start from tomorrow. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about this video, the first is how to stay consistent, which is the number one thing. You pretty much, we all know to go to gym and all, right? But I'm going to talk about the diet and the workouts as well. But consistency is the number one thing. If you know everything you're not consistent, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna talk about how to stay consistent, how to keep yourself motivated, okay, which is very, very important. So all the motivation you need. Also the tips and tricks to get quick results. Some things you can just do right away will make you massive results, the biggest ROI. Okay, a whole exercise program that I did, the complete diet program that I did and I still continue to do, and basically all you need so you can start from today. Or if you already have an existing program and you're not seeing the results that you want, these are things that you want to add. Okay, so let's talk about it. Secret to consistency. And my secret is, for me, like how I'm able to just continuously do it and not just give up, is basically the question I ask myself is, why am I doing it? And have a really strong why. Okay, so for example, I want to be the best trader, and we all know in order to be a best trader you have to have a very strong mind. Okay, you have to be very strong psychologically, and I believe strong body, strong mind. Okay, if you have a strong body, you also have a strong mind as well, because you're able to really go above and beyond, and when you're tired you still go work out. So it makes you it makes you mentally very strong as well. So I believe strong body, strong mind. And you know what also is to be more confident. I cannot tell you, like, if you just take out everything, all my whys, and just say, hey, you know what, Ali, if you get shredded and if you become fit and aesthetic, your confidence will go through the roof. That's all I want. That's more than enough for me. Confidence, I cannot tell you guys, since I don't know, maybe I was in my head or not, but since I have really, like, changed my body, I think that people have started treating me a little more differently. They treat me better. They talk to me more. People come to me at the gym like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Right? Are you taking any drugs? And I'm not actually. It's completely natural, because my goal is to be actually, live a long, healthy life, and that's why I'm doing it. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing it. Okay, so the confidence is just the biggest thing, I think, for me. My confidence is really high to the roof. So next is actually to have continued doing adventurous activities. I love, I have skydive. I am a certified scuba diver. I river raft. I snowboard in winter. In summer, I scuba. I play cricket. And I'm 34 already. I do not want to be like 40, 45 and not be able to do any of those things. I'll be so depressed out of my mind. So just the thought of, not being able to do all those things when I get a little older just scares the heck out of me. And making that decision to go to gym for like 1 hour or 45 minutes a day is actually a great deal, right? For me, it makes it so much easier. So the things that I want to do, I won't be able to do. That's very, very important. So that's why it helps me stay consistent. And also be able to do the same thing with my kids one day. When my kids grow up, like when I'm 50 and my kid like 20 or something, I want to be able to do the same things. I want to share my experience with them. So again, very, very long-term goals. That's why it helps me, or it will help you to stay consistent. Okay, and then short-term goals are also very important. Like you to have a wedding, the funny thing is, when you have a wedding coming up and you're like, oh my god, I need to get in shape. Now, like, when there's a wedding coming up, I'm already ready. When there's an event coming up, I'm already ready. I want to go out. I want to actually talk to people. I want to hang out and have more fun with people. And it just completely changes your mindsets. So all of these things, if I don't have any of these things, or these things start taken away from me, I'll be really, really depressed. I know, right? So for that being reason, for me, going to gym or working out, eating healthy is just not a big deal anymore. It just makes it so much easier knowing that if I'm not going to do all these things, let's say if I'm lazy, I'm not going to do that one day, I know that I'm stealing it from my future. Just think about it for a second. So I think that's just something very, very important for me. And finally, is also you have a plan and make it as easy as possible. So if you already have a workout plan, you just know, when you're tired, you cannot really think too much. But if you already know what to do exactly step by step, you already have food ready in your fridge, healthy food. So you don't have to think or, make a decision at that time. Because, when you're really tired, that's when you make the worst decision. So if you already have your decisions planned, you're just gonna continue, just do it, right? And it'll just make it way more easier. So make it as easy as possible. Other things to make it easy as possible would be like, have a gym close by, have dumbbells in your home. So when you're tired, when you cannot go for some day, you can work out at home. Have your shoes and gym clothes ready. I keep it in my car all the time. So let's say if I'm coming from work and I'm late, I can just go direct to the gym instead of going home, because I know once I get home, I'll be very, very tired, right? So, yeah. So what the summary is, have a very, very strong why. So first step is to write down all your whys. And then if you don't do it, know that you are stealing it from your future. Okay? And that's something very, 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 very important. Unless, you just have given up, which I'm sure you're not, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. So I know that you are trying your best. So just think that you are gonna steal from your future. Very, very important concept. And that's what personally helps me to stay consistent. Okay? Once you have your why down, now you're motivated, now you want to go to the gym, you want to work out. Second step is to measure all your body, like your weight. So here's what I measure. Measure your weight, your waist, your chest, your shoulder, your biceps, and those are all the things. So here's my actually, if you notice here, right here, actually these are my actual numbers from February to June, and this is the before after, right? So let me just show you just a real quick, how crazy that is. So actually, what's the funny part is that I started with 157 pounds. My weight was 157 pounds, and I ended at 150. So this is 150 pounds. I lost 7 pounds, and here I clearly look way more bigger, bigger, more muscular, obviously. And if I just only look at my weight and see like, hey, my weight is just going down, so I'm not really making gains, well, you'll be completely off. That's why it's really important to measure your chest. So if my weight is going down, but also my waist is also going down, so my waist was 4 inches. I lost 4 inches in my waist, and I gained all of that on my muscles. Okay? So it's very, very important to gain, measure your chest and everything. So it helps you, hey, you're growing at the same time you're losing weight. So it's double win. So that's really, really helped me. So it's extremely important to keep measuring, okay? Next, now that you have it, let's talk about the basic diet habits that's going to give you the biggest ROI right away. They say abs are made in the kitchen, and it's actually true, I believe. Even if you don't work out, don't do your abs, for a very long time, but if you eat healthy and if counting your calories, you're going to see your abs. It's crazy, but that's true. Now, the biggest return is that cut any sugar or high calorie drinks. High calorie drinks is the main point here. High calorie because let's say that you walk 1 hour on a treadmill. You will burn around 300 calories, and you drink one Coca-Cola, sugary Coca-Cola, done. You gain all those calories back. So imagine if you just cut one Coke that you're having a day, for example, it means you just basically did a treadmill for 1 hour. Imagine. So that's how important it is. So easy to cut one Coke than to actually walk 1 hour on the treadmill. Now, I love sodas. So what I do is I actually substitute the soda with 0 calories. So LaCroix is like one of my favorites. So I still drink sodas, but these are 0 calories. So they add no more weight. Okay, so very, very Powerful for me. Lots of water. I try to do a gallon of water, but even half a gallon works. If you're not able to do it, and slowly increase. Because when I started first drinking a gallon of water, it was really, really hard. Well, now what I'm doing is I'm putting water bottles around me. Like, I have water bottles everywhere, like all over my back, everywhere, wherever I go, on my bed, next to my bed. There are water bottles everywhere. So even though if I don't have water with me, I see water and then I just drink it. Okay? So that's one of the cheat sheet that you can use. And then cut all processed foods. So processed foods, like anything that comes in a bag that's outside the fridge and it's in the bag, that's pretty much a processed food. Okay? So cut all those processed foods. So for example, cakes, chips, biscuits, anything that comes in plastic, get rid of it. Now, it's very, very hard, because especially if you're having it, if you're having chips on a daily basis, or you eat, like, I like to munch in here and there, which I don't, I don't blame you. I do that too. I love doing that too. But what I did was, in order to combat that, I found alternatives. For example, carrots and hummus. I love to like dip carrots and hummus as a snack. Healthy snack right away. So you just cut your chips instead of you had carrot and hummus. Flavored yogurt. Like I love coconut yogurt with granola, or like almond butter. These are also high calorie, but they're very, very healthy. So they're gonna have a way, way better effect to your body than normal. These chips are gonna ruin you. Okay, so substitute with nuts, berries, fruits. Way better, way, way better than to have all those other snacks. Okay, junk. Now that we have it, let's talk about quick diet. I promise this is the only numbers I'm going to talk about here, and it's going to rest all going to be physical, practical examples that you can use right away. So generally, you want to have, with your weight, you want to have 20% fat in your food, 40% protein, and 45% carbs. Okay, so that's the general rule. So let's say that if you, whatever your weight is, multiply by 12, and that's how many calories you want to eat approximately. And then once you realize your weight is going fluctuating a little bit up and down, and you adjust those calories accordingly. Okay, but this is a good start. So what you do is you just multiply your weight, which, so my weight is, let's say, 160 pounds. So multiply by weight by 13. Okay, when you multiply by 13, not 12, 13, not 12, 13. Okay, and you will get around 22,000 calories, 2,100 calories. So for that, you want to have 180 grams of carbs, 170 grams of protein, and then 70 grams of fats. That's going to be equivalent to around 45% carbohydrates, 40% protein, 20% fat. Now, based on that, once you start losing weight, or if you're not losing weight, cut 5 grams of carbs. Just keep the protein and fat same. Just cut 5 grams of fat. And if you're not losing for one more week, cut 5 grams of carbs more. That's it. Just adjust your carbs and not fat or protein. Keep your fat and protein the same. You can increase your fat a little bit, 25%, but 20% is where I want to keep. Now, let's talk about it. It's this, I just talk about all technical stuff. It's actually very, very hard to calculate calories, right? So what I'm doing now to stay consistent is to make it as easy as possible. That's what I said. So I know what are carbs, what are proteins, what are fats, right? So here are some of the examples of dishes that I eat that are healthy, at the same time very, very tasty for me. Okay, so you can do the same thing for you. So here's the example. Shrimp fried rice. My favorite, I love shrimp fried rice. Now, the cool thing about shrimp fried rice is that it has shrimps that are protein, eggs that are also protein, that has rice, there's carbs, and then some olive oil or coconut oil you can put in, which is fats, right? So it makes a perfect meal. So what I do is always being thoughtful. Okay, am I having enough protein in there? Am I having enough carbs in there? And am I having enough fats? So as long as that is in the ratio of 20%. So this is shrimps, which is protein, rice, which is carbs, and then you can have some herbs and veggies is fine. So here's another example. Grilled chicken and sweet potato. It looks delicious, right? But look at it, how it is. Again, same thing. Protein. So you have protein here. Okay. And then you have sweet potatoes, which is carbs. And then you can add some veggies. Veggies I don't really count. But then olive oil, which is, you can put olive oil. You can just make it in olive oil, or just spray with olive oil or coconut oil, whatever you like. Don't use canola, but olive and coconut are the go-to great fat sources. Okay, here's another example. Grilled chicken, okay, with rice and some veggies and some fats for coconut or olive oil. Again, amazing, delicious food, but again, it's already proportionate. Okay, already proportionate protein, carbs, and then some fats. Now, here's another tip. The tip is that whenever you're filling your plate, first put the protein in there. First, always put the protein because that's very fillable. It's not gonna make you gain weight. Okay. At the same time, once you have put your protein, then fill it with carbs and fats if there are. Okay. So here, let's look more examples, and I'm gonna switch to exercises. Okay. So here's an example: grilled steak with garlic rice. Grilled steak with garlic, same thing. Protein, rice is carbs, and then some spray of olive oil. Another pepper steak, same. Some first you fill it with protein, veggies, you can fill it as much as you want, and then rice. Okay. Let's look at another example. Salmon and rice. Great. Salmon, great source of protein and fats, and some rice, which is another carbs. Another would be ground beef and some veggies and rice. Again, notice here the whole time all you're doing is that, just to make it as easy as possible, whenever you're filling, you need to understand what are the sources of protein, what are the sources of carbs, and then fill it accordingly. 40-45% of protein and carbs, and then some fats. That's it. Okay. Same thing again. Steak, great source of protein. Some potatoes, great source of carbs, and then sprinkle it with olive oil and some salt, and beautiful. So that's it. These are the simple diet program. Simple, like I didn't make it as hard as possible. I know I can go into way too details, but to make it as easy as possible, always remember, be mindful of what you're eating. Pizzas, obviously pizza, if you have, it's not going to enough protein. Pizza's going to just have carbs and carbs and carbs and fat. So that's not a good choice. Now, I do have it like once a month. If I do really, really well, I have once a month, and that's not really going to make that much of a difference. Okay. So now let's talk about the workout and exercise program. So we already talked about the motivation. We already talked about food, which is going to give you the biggest results. Now let's talk about the exercise program. So the exercise program, here are the 3 key rules that you have to do this every single day when you're at the gym. Okay. So that's what I did, is 3 exercises per body. So each body, you will have 3 exercises into 4 sets. So 4 sets and 12 reps each. So the 12 reps, so like for example, if I'm doing bench press, right? If I'm doing bench press, so I'm going to do 12 reps, okay? And the weight has to be enough that by the time I get to 10, 11, 12, I cannot do like 13 or 14. If I can do 13, 14, 15, I need to increase some weight. Now a lot of people who go to failure by 8, so like by the time you're 8 reps, you're already that means you have too much weight. Increase weight where you're between 10 to 12 range, and then over time you'll be able to do those weights, like maybe you'll be able to lift like 15, 16 times. And if you're able to do that, then there's time to increase weight again, and then come back to where you can lift 10 to 12 times. But the key is that each set needs to be a failure. This is what it is. Each set needs to be a failure. That's what's gonna make you those guns. Okay. Failure means that by the time you're doing 10, you got to 11, and then it's just really hard to do 12. Really hard to, and then maybe you can do 13, right? Eventually you're able to do, next week you're gonna come in, you're gonna be able to do 13, 14, 15. Once you're able to hit the 15 mark, add a couple of more pounds, and then see, if you can do, if you're getting failure at 12. But that's the key. Every set needs to be a failure. Those are the ones that's gonna give you the results. Okay. So again, if you can do 15 reps, add more weight, so you can lift between 10 to 12. Next is focus on quality and not more weights. Once you focus, because let's say that you start lifting and then you have a bad rep, you're doing half a or whatever, right? You think, oh my god, I can lift more weight, so then you're gonna put more weight. What's gonna happen is you're gonna injure yourself, and then you're gonna be out of the gym for a very long time. So you're not gonna be able to stay consistent. Again, very, very, very important. So now, one more thing that I do is no rest days. I try to go to gym 7 days a week. Now you may be wondering, how is that possible? The reason why it's possible is that if I take rest days intentionally, life happens. I'm gonna get sick. Somebody else is gonna get sick, and I'm gonna take in my family and I have to take care of them. I might not be able to go to gym. I may have like a very, very tough work day where I'm working like 16-hour day and I don't have time to go to gym. Those days I will take rest. So rest comes naturally. For example, if I go 5 days in a row to the gym, the 6th day, if I'm intentionally trying to have a rest day, but that day I'm feeling very, very great, I am not gonna take a rest that day because those are the days I can actually go to gym. Why would I take a rest on that day and then some next day something else happens and now I'm not gone 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row? So it's gonna break that momentum. So always try to go to gym every single day. And when life gives you, like, throws at you, those days you just take that day off. So that's how I try to do it. So I'm averaging about 6 days a week. This actually, for the last 2 weeks, I've been going to gym every single day. Every single day. And I know that when something happens, maybe I have to fly, maybe I have to go travel, and then that day I don't have time to go to gym. Okay. And that day I'll be a rest day. Okay. And then obviously rest at night. Now let's talk about a complete workout plan that I'm going to lay it out for you. That's exactly what I did, and I still do this day. Okay, I may change around the exercises here and there, but these are the basic pioneer and the pillars of each exercise. So workout plan is that chest and triceps day 1, back and biceps day 2, legs and calves day 3, shoulder and abs day 4. And then repeat the same thing, chest and triceps, back and biceps, and then you know the drill, right? But the whole goal is that these are the exercises that we're going to do, chest and tricep, and don't worry, I'm going to talk about each exercise. I'm going to go through each exercises, each body part exercises. But chest and triceps, back and biceps, leg and calves, shoulder and abs. And then you repeat. So let's talk about chest and triceps. So what are those exercises that I do right now? Incline bench press. The first is the incline bench press. I'm not going to go into technical details, but basically incline bench press, you get on the bench, do the incline. That's going to really give you that uppercut on your chest. Okay. Second is bench press. Normal bench press, again, very basic exercise, but it's going to hit you all parts of your chest, your back, your shoulders. Perfect exercise. Then I end with pec deck. So again, same thing, 4 sets, I'm doing failure. 4 sets of each exercise, and I'm doing failures of each exercise. Every set I'm doing, I'm tired and I cannot do more. And then I take a 1-minute rest and then repeat. Okay? So then we do the pec deck. Then we go to the triceps, and then we do rope tricep extension, the first one, which is the rope tricep extension. Then the 1-arm tricep extension. So you can switch it around obviously, but these are great exercises to start because these are all beginner friendly. At the same time, gives you the best return on your exercises. Next is back and biceps. The first one is incline dumbbell curl. So simply sit down and do an incline dumbbell curl. These are called incline dumbbell curl. If you sit down, you can stand up. It's up to you. Second is standing barbell curl. So you stand, but then you do the barbell curl, which is kind of hammer curl. You can also say the hammer curl. You just twist your wrist. Instead of this, you twist your wrist like this, and then you do hammer. So the hammer curl, they give you like a peak. They give you like a little peak here, okay? And then the preacher curl, which is like a complete, it really isolates everything, all your whole body, and only really hits your biceps. So really builds a very strong base on your biceps. Then we're gonna do the back. The reason why we do back and biceps, by the way, the same day is because when you're doing biceps or when you're doing back, your biceps get hit a little bit as well. So you're already tired with your biceps, then you're going to hit the back, your bicep will engage again. So it helps your biceps to grow even faster. Okay. So first we start with cable pull down, very simple. You have this cable pull down in every single gym. Then we start with pull-ups. I personally love pull-ups, very easy to do. And then, you can increase, you can just get better and better. If you can do 10 pull-ups, then next day you just aim for 11, next week you aim for 12, and you get stronger and stronger. You can actually visibly see, right? And then also you can do this anywhere you want, so it just helps you, whenever you're traveling, you can actually still hit this exercise. Then we have the seated cable roll. You can do with wide or close grip, right? Play around with it a little bit, but this is a great start. All right, now we have those. Let's go to legs and abs. The first one is goblet squats. So unfortunately, I don't do squats anymore because I hurt my back. So anything I put on my shoulder, it hurts my back. So don't keep doing. If something is hurting, yeah, that's number one. Actually, my back, I was squatting and I heard a pop. And guess what? I kept working out. I kept doing it. And the next day, I could not even get out of my bed. And turns out I herniated my lower disc. I was in bed for 6 months, guys. It was like a while back. So now, like, whenever I feel, okay, it's hurting a little bit, or, it's not feeling right, I stop that exercise right away, guys. It's so important, because if you don't, oh my God, you might be out of the gym for a while. So never ever because you can do so many other exercises, right? So always try to find a different exercise that could hit you or hit your goal. So goblet squats. Then I do leg extensions. Very, very strong. Also, cool thing is you can add more weight on it. You know, it's one of the more pioneer leg extensions, leg exercises out there. Then I do leg curls. Again, it hits your, basically squats hit your front, leg curl hits your back of your leg, so it gives you like an overall leg rounded look on your legs. Okay. Then on the same day I do abs and crunches. So the first is crunch. So normally very simple crunch exercise. Everybody knows crunches both right and left. So we'll hit your abs and your lats. Then we're gonna do kneeling cable crunch. Now this is my favorite exercises. This is my favorite exercise, but you have to be very careful. Just don't put too much weight. Slowly, gradually increase. The cool thing is that, you know, once you start doing crunches, you can do way too many and it's not hitting your abs anymore because you're getting stronger and stronger. But with the cable nudge, what you can do is you can increase your weight and get more resistance, right? So your abs build stronger. Then leg raise is good for lower abs. So great exercise for leg raise. And then you can add weight to it the more you get experience. Finally is the shoulder exercises. So shoulder, you're gonna do shoulder press. So you can do with the bar, you can do with the machine, or you can do with the dumbbells. Very simple, but this gives you this is the very foundation of your shoulder. It gives you a very good shoulder. This shoulder like this cut right here, right? Then we're gonna do shoulder flies. Shoulder flies is my favorite exercise. The reason why, because it gives you that broader look. You know, the broader look on your shoulders. That's where the shoulder fly comes from. It comes from shoulder fly. And then delts. So delts is something that hit the back of your shoulder, which gives you a rounded look. So you're doing all over your shoulder, so hitting all different kinds of shoulder and gives you a rounded look, complete shoulder. So I actually, over the time, I mastered these, and these are the best exercises for me, at least for me, that gives you. And then you always want to change after a few months, keep changing so your body doesn't get used to it. Okay. Then I hit cardio because shoulder is just, actually I just only do shoulder. So then what I do is I hit cardio once a week, 30 minutes. And yeah, that's it. So summary, have a very, very strong why, very, very strong why, enough sleep so you get rested, balanced diet and lots of water. The balanced diet is extremely important. If you think you're eating more, try to eat more protein. Okay, try to keep that 40-40-20-20 rule. Okay, and workout plan with each sets to failure. Sets to failure is so important. Don't just go and then work out. Or you did 10 reps and done. If you're not working hard enough, you're not pushing in the gym, it's not going to give you results. Okay, it's not going to give you those cuts. You know, like those cuts you get. It's not going to give you that. So make sure you do all of that. And I hope this is my complete program, guys. I hope that you learn something, and I hope that even if it just helps one person who watches my video, I think that it will be worth it for me making this video because it took me a very, very long time. And if you have any questions, feel free to put in the comments below, and we'll be happy to ask or help you out. All right, guys, take care. Bye.